It's 6 a.m. GMT, and this is the Starr Breakfast News with me, Nanana Aqua. Here is what we have coming right up.
We will do the appointments of
President Mahama promises to make key security appointments soon to address security issues across the country, particularly with the Boko conflict.
We will do the appointments of the Minister of Defense, the Minister of Interior, the National Security Advisor, the National Security Coordinator, the BNI Director, and all the others.
Also, West African Network for Peace Building advocates diplomacy and dialogue as solution to recurrent Boko conflict.
I think that requires a multi-dimensional, multi-stakeholder approach, not just with the factions, but with all other stakeholders who are within and without Boko.
And Chamber of Petroleum Consumers attributes looming shortage of products across the country to supply disruption to some oil marketing companies.
This is also due to supply disruption. How soon we'll be able to normalize this, I cannot say.
We've got this and more coming right up. Do stay.
Star News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, My Star Radio in the USA, also live on Facebook on Star 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Star 103.5 FM, Star News. Informed, in depth, in touch.
Thank you for tuning in to the Starr Breakfast News with me, Nanama Aqua. Now, President John Dramani Mahama has promised to make key security-related appointments soon to address security issues in the country, particularly the Boko conflict. The president yesterday visited Boko to engage stakeholders about solution for the protracted conflict, which has claimed many lives. According to President Mahama, the newly appointed officials will be tasked to find lasting solutions to security challenges. Let's take a listen.
To assure you that we're putting in place the various appointments so that we can have ministers and other officials who are responsible for the security to take charge. And so within this week, we will do the appointments of the Minister of Defense, the Minister of Interior, the National Security Advisor, the National Security Coordinator, the BNI Director, and all the others. And when these appointments are made, I'm going to charge them to make Boko one of the #1 priorities that they attend and deal with. And so I'll appeal to you to exercise patience, exercise restraint, and to let you know that I am apprised of the issue. I'm going to deal with it, and I can assure you, have trust in myself and this administration that by the grace of God, peace is going to come back. Permanent peace is going to come back to Boko.
Still on Boko, the West African Network for Peace Building, WANEP, is advocating diplomacy and dialogue as solution to the recurrent conflict in Boko. WANEP believes that military intervention alone will not resolve the underlying issues. President John Dramani Mahama has reiterated his government's commitment to restoring peace in the area. Speaking to Star News, National Network Coordinator of WANEP's Ghana office, Albert Yelyang, argued that President Mahama's visit sends the right message in fostering peace.
For me, and I think all who have been involved in managing the conflict in Boko, it is something that signifies a renewed kind of commitment to efforts that have been implemented, in resolving the conflict in Boko, maintaining security in the area. So this visit, I see it as it is setting a kind of an agenda, renewing the agenda that government has, for resolving the conflict in Boko, and then for the entire community to be stable for proper governance. I think that requires a multi-dimensional, multi-stakeholder approach, not just with the factions, but with all other stakeholders who are within and without Boko. The conflict, as we see it, we may see the symptoms, the violence recurring in Boko, and maybe in some other near communities, or say in the northeast region, where we sometimes will link the incidences to the Boko conflict.
Now, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers has attributed the looming shortage of petroleum products across the country to disruption of supply to some oil marketing companies. Already, there are reports of shortages in parts of the country. Executive Secretary of COPEC, Duncan Amwa, tells Starr News it's unclear when the challenge will be resolved.
This is also due to supply disruption. How soon we'll be able to normalize this, I cannot say. But if you read what the NPA did put out, I think a few days ago, they were suggesting that we'll be able to normalize the supply bit by weekend. And so today being Tuesday, the expectation would have been that it would have simply truncated. But we saw, recording pockets of shortages here and there, where some of the bigger OMCs simply do not have petrol at all to sell to consumers.
Is it too early for consumers to be worried at the situation as it stands?
Well, it's a fluid one. It is not one that I foresee becoming a very general one. So some oil marketing companies, due to whatever arrangements they have with their BDCs or oil trading companies, would simply be able to give you product. For those who probably would have relied on, say, Boss, and Boss is unable to land as many cargoes as it had promised to do, you would find the challenge persistent. But across board, you will find other OMCs that are also able to deliver the product. So it is quite a fluid one. It could disappear, it could escalate. Whichever way you look at it, we can only be positive that maybe we'll get some additional cargoes this week to augment whatever numbers that we have also been able to put on the market the past weekend, so that there could be some normalcy prevailing. But it could be better than last week.
Meanwhile, motorists have been urged to brace up to pay more for petroleum products on Thursday, as prices are expected to go up by some 3%. Now, according to Duncan Amwa, the move is largely driven by hikes in the international benchmark.
Per the numbers I have seen, international benchmarks are a bit higher than the previous window. So it is likely based on those numbers that some 2-3% could be added. The city, I haven't really been able to do the numbers for the city, but it's been fairly stable, relatively. Just that it might not also be at the levels that it was. At the beginning of trading for the current window, the industry was quoting around 14.8 to about 15.3. I'm sure it would have gone up to about 15.5 now. So if you put that together with the international benchmark numbers that have also seen an increase, maybe we'll get some marginal increments at the pumps.
Now, there was a surge in interest among youth members of the ruling National Democratic Congress for municipal and district chief executive positions in the Eastern region. Following the NDC's announcement of open nominations for MMDCE positions, dozens of applications have poured in from all 33 districts and municipalities in the region. Eastern Regional Correspondent Kojo Ansa has more in this report.
In the Ayeswano district, for instance, 6 individuals have submitted the application forms and vision statements as of Monday, January 13th. Among the applicants is Taino Francis, who holds an MBA in Finance and MSc in Economics. Francis boasts 13 years leadership experience in corporate sector and has served as a former assembly member, HR assistant at the district assembly, teacher, farmers union president, parliamentary aspirant, and a constituency vice chairman.
Due to the work and things that I've done within Ayenswano and Soon, I've been a Coco Life president for Soon and Ayenswano. And all the people who witness and attest to it, what I did during my term. I'm appealing to Ayenswano people to support me during this process. And I believe I'll become successful. I'll be appointed as a DC. And all the experience that I've gathered through the assembly, I've been a staff in assembly. As I'm speaking, I've been a staff of assembly. I've been an assembly member. I did my national service in assembly. So when it comes in terms of running assembly, everything, I have those skills and experiences there.
We'll bring you the full report in subsequent bulletins. Now, the VRA hospital in Akosombo says on average, it incurs a monthly indebtedness of over 30,000 to 40,000 Ghana cedis due to patients' inability to pay their medical bills. Now, according to the management of the hospital, the social welfare team regularly tries to pursue the defaulters to retrieve to retrieve the debts, but are largely unsuccessful. This was revealed in an intercepted memo explaining reasons for holding the 16-year-old young mother and her newborn after cesarean section at the hospital. There's more in this news desk report.
The patient came from a traditional birth attendance center, had an emergency cesarean section within hours of arrival to save her life and that of her baby. According to the hospital, considering the condition of the patient, it did not request payment prior to providing this life-saving intervention. The patient was discharged but held to mobilize funds within 48 hours before a decision was taken to refer her to social welfare team for assessment and further action. The Member of Parliament for Esojaman, Thomas Ampeminyako, on Sunday, 12th January 2025, paid the medical bill for the 16-year-old mother and her newborn baby detained at VRA Hospital in Akosombo over inability to pay medical bill for 2,528 and 40 pesos. After J1 TV and Starr FM publications on the situation came to the attention of the MP, he issued a check for payment by delegation led by Karim Audu, his personal assistant, Clement Amegache, NDC Constituency Secretary, and Hajia Rashida to the Constituency Treasurer. Subsequently, some benevolent individuals and NGOs have donated a total of 7,500 for the upkeep of the young mother and her newborn, in addition to baby essential items provided. Edna Oliver Asari, CEO of Mao Clenham Foundation, donated baby clothes, diapers, toiletries, bag of rice, a box of tin milk, and other essential items. CEO of Teenage Mother Care Foundation, Phoebe Sharifa, also assured to sponsor the teenage mother who dropped out of school at class 5 to return to school or acquire vocational skill.
And that's all we have for the Star Breakfast News. My name is Nanama Aqua. For more news updates, click on starfm.com.gh. Do enjoy the rest of your day.